this morning that he got a spectrum analyzer done that is actually going to be part of one of our reverb reverb plugins, and but could stand alone as well. So let's take a look at this. I'm just going to go through this for a little while. Very early stages yet. And what I really wanted originally was a way to see level versus time versus frequency on on a waterfall display or an oscilloscope type of 3D kind of thing, so that we could pretty much emulate the sound of any reverb that you really liked. And one of our reverbs is capable of doing some pretty sophisticated timing, and this would be one way to do it by comparing it. I mean, I'm sure there's AI ways to do it or whatever, this kind of a brute force thing. And so just gonna take a look at how this thing handles, let's say, a snare drum. So I'm just gonna turn on the little sample here. So I think I should be feeding a tone into this. Let's see. This is gonna get ugly, so I'm gonna turn down the output because I have a feeling this could be very lame. So I'm gonna turn on a sine wave. Let's just take a look at how this goes. So I don't know why this flashing thing is going on. He's talking about the problem if I close the GUI, so I'm gonna reopen it. And possibly that's what the problem is. Oh, okay, there we go. So let's go do some noise. Here's white noise here. There's pink noise. Nice. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's try. I think this screwed it up again. Yep. Let's try the snare again. Okay. So now I'm gonna slow down the snare loop a little bit. I'll put a reverb in here. So ideally, this thing would be floating. What I should do is put this on a different channel, send to it. That way it won't ever close. So I'm gonna put just gonna put our current reverb in here, and this is kind of a alpha, so Okay, so you can see, I'll turn this up. Let's say we were going to do make the highs last a lot longer. See that? So if I wanted to compare this to another reverb, this is going to be a much easier thing to do. I really still think I would like to see the Room EQ Wizard version. So the other part is, in order to do this, I really got to have two signals coming in, one from our reverb, one from the other reverb. I mean, I can kind of compare them by eye and hope. But ideally, we'd have them on both the same window, and maybe like different colors or something, so you can tell who's who. But this is looking really cool. So I'll mess with this more later. I have some appointments today, so I'm gonna try and get on hopefully some tech repair stuff in a second. Let me tell the developer. All right, I'm gonna close this now. Okay, so now we are going to get my XAir 18 out. I might need, not sure if I'm going to fire up my soldering iron yet or not. We'll see. I'm just pulling it out of the rack right now. Sorry, this is taking a second. Okay. So this is the second time this guy's died. Probably the power supply. I swapped power supplies to fix it last time. I can't find power supplies for sale except for on AliExpress, which looks really sketchy. Well, you know, I should probably get a cordless screwdriver one of these days. I think I can take it apart with this. Let's see. What we got here? Might have to take the rack ears off. I'm not sure. I mean, I've taken this apart before, so. So I ordered some capacitors that should be here tomorrow. Maybe they're here today. I'll go check the mail real quick. But most of the time when I read about this, it's the power supply capacitors that got wrecked, and that's why they don't work. But there's some other stuff. It could be some bridge rectifier. Oh, interesting. Looks like there's some missing screws here. Is that true? Are those missing screws? I'm not sure. This side seems to have the same missing screws if they're indeed missing. We'll see when we get this thing popped apart. Missing any? Guess the rack gears might have to come off. This is where a cordless screwdriver would be nice. I hope I can get this running again. You know, these things were $500 before the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. And now, because of the chip shortage and all the inflation and stuff, they're like $800 if you can find one. So that sucks. We have some shows coming up, and we really need this thing back. And yeah, wow, I really want. I wonder if I can use my screw gun on here. Hold on, please. If I had an extension on my screw gun, I could definitely do this. May as well pull out a multimeter because I'm probably gonna be needing one in a second here. And probably like my jeweler's screwdriver kit. It's actually Stu Mac one, but let's see. There we go. It still feels solidly on there. Why is that? There's screws on the front. I don't really want to mess with those, hopefully. But maybe. Let's see. Oh, that's much nicer. Yay. Okay. Much better. All right. Oh, okay. So there's little screws on the side that I didn't see. Guess the rack gears were covering these up. Yeah, this is like watching paint dry, right? So I did get some help from the Behringer XAir 18 users group on Facebook for some capacitor values. And another guy is saying to look for bridge rectifier diodes. Let me see if he got back to me. I sent him some pictures. Because my spare power supply, actually the original power supply that came with this unit, I pulled off all the caps and they seem to be the right values. So something else is going on with that one. But maybe with this other one, it'll be the capacitors. Let me see what they said. Yeah, I was asking if there's a schematic someplace. Like, I don't know of one. Okay, here we go. So, okay, there's a ribbon connector. So there's a couple connectors that I'm a little bit scared of that I need to take off here. One is for some power. Little ribbon in there. This one seems to have a lock on it, so I can actually take it off. Yep, okay. And then this ribbon right here. I got to get that one off. There's some hot glue. See, I think I hot glued some of this back together because I was worried about it. And there are a lot of capacitors, so the trouble's going to be, how am I going to read? Oh, okay. So the power supply board is right here. So this is where I'm suspecting the problems are. Not sure where we're going to read voltage or whatever, but let me take this thing off. And I should be able to work right on here. Hopefully. Ooh, this ribbon cable is so sketchy. I think I'm starting to remember like having some really weird problems with the ribbon cable. Okay, so that's out. Here's the main unit. That's where all the mic preamps and everything are on. So I'm just looking at the power supply now. Whole bunch of hot glue fell off. Don't know if there's a fuse in here. I'm not good with electricity, so, and there's a very big capacitor in here, 1,000 microfarads, I think, at 100 volts. I don't remember. Maybe I should take this off first. Let me do that. Okay. So I could pull this guy out of here. It's crazy because there's like a burn mark looking thing. I don't know if you can see that, but I think that was there before. I could yank the whole power supply out, and I might have to in order to get to some of these screws. I don't want to because I want to try and get some readings. Oh, actually, there's some numbers on here. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in and then fire up the whatchamacallit. Get an IEC cord that I know works. All right, so I need a bucket of water to put my feet in while I'm doing this. Electricity terrifies me. Electronics not too bad, but power supplies. Eesh. All right. So I'm gonna go right to the start. Should be seeing AC volts, I think. Is that hard to read? Yes, it is. If I turn this light off, is that any better? It's really dark. I bought all these lights for the sides so that, I could do this without it making so much glare. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, if I pull off this screen protector, will the glare go away a little bit? Yeah, I need to hook those side lights back up. Well, that's much better. Okay, so I'm plugged in. Not exactly sure where to take this reading from. I'm going to assume right here. Yeah, I'm getting 13 volts. Huh, okay. Let me go to the ground here. Try this one. No. This guy. Nope. This guy. Nope. It's only 4. There we go. Okay, there's 120 volts right there. All right, so is this on? So if I turn this off, will I still get that? Let me try that. Okay, I'm getting 120 volts there either way with the switch on or off. I don't know if that's right. And I don't know which way is on. What does it say? Okay. There's like a little fan hole here, but there's no fan. That's some Behringer for you. All right. So I switched it the other way. Now I'm getting 120 volts here. If I turn it off, I am not getting 120 volts there. Okay, so this should be on. And I'm looking on here. And my eyes are so bad. Okay, there's a DC ground. It just says D ground, C ground. Let's just check these voltages here. I don't know if this is able to test in circuit like this, but we'll find out. So I should be seeing. Actually, let me ground it to the chassis. I think I should be seeing 15 volts here. I'm seeing nothing. But maybe the pin's not reaching. I need my alligator clips. I have some someplace. Oh, okay. This is supposed to be DC. So you just try going to the ground here. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. Let me try this ground. Okay, so I'm not seeing 15 volts at all. Again, I'm not too sure about these pins. I'm seeing a pulse for a plus 5 volts. Yeah, I'm getting pulsing readings. That's interesting. So ground, I should be getting nothing. Nothing. Minus 15 volts. Nothing. 48 volts. Nothing. So I don't seem to be getting power. Well, I was getting those pulses, which is totally weird. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this board out and see if we can't see like a fried capacitor or something. Um, and I've got some green Loctite. Maybe I should use that to put this back together. That's some wishful thinking, but I don't think there's an easy way to pull this guy off of here. That I hot glue gun the hell out of that thing. But really, I just need to get to. I mean, there has to be a way. Maybe I should pull it, but I'm going to take off this shield. I don't know how important the shielding cover is, actually. I'm trying to think of what it would do. Oh, it's not really going to fix any noise issues, I don't think. The way things are laid out in the chassis, I don't really see it hitting anything. Now, the real question is, though, should I be seeing power here before it's connected to this ribbon? You know, does it need that ribbon connected in order to test? I don't know. Let me ask that on the Behringer XAir 18 group. Without the power supply plugged in, and with just the power supply plugged in, and without the two ribbon cables going to the other parts of the unit, should I be able to measure voltages at the power supply? There was a blog where somebody was fixing this thing up, and they kind of knew. Oh shoot! I just noticed. I don't think. Oh no, that was. Never mind. Sorry. There was a blog where somebody was fixing it, and I think they told about how they were reading voltages. I might go there. Let me take this apart first. Would be sad if I was just like fruitlessly looking at this stuff. I'm hoping that I'm going to see a popped cap, and if so, fire the sucker back up and get it going again. But the other one seemed like all the caps were okay, so that's discouraging. All right, so there is a very big cap right there that could probably hurt me. Not super thrilled about. Here's, yeah, I hot glue gun the crap out of that. I don't know if I can even get that off of there. And I think I hot glue gunned it because it actually went bad. Like it was coming apart. Really need to razor that sucker out of there. That's the trouble with hot glue, right? Like taking it back off can sometimes be a nightmare. I have some razor knives, but I'm so bad with them, I'll end up just cutting myself up. Not safe for work. Yeah, I have a lot of trouble getting this. Oh, shoot. Screws. these someplace where I won't lose them. Oh, okay, the bottom is protected. Okay. Whew. All right, come on. I got to get this off of there. I don't want to hurt the ceramic caps or whatever those are over there too. Yeah, it was just, oh man, this is really trying to rip this cap out. And I don't want to hurt that cap. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here we got the power supply. Now, there's still protector. It's stuck to this board. I can pull it out of there. And I'm going to have to if I pull any caps. But what I'm doing is looking right at these capacitors. So one of the tricks is you got to you have a colored pen. Not sure if this is going to work or not. Kind of draw across them and see if you see like a real big bulge. Ooh, this guy is looking a little suspicious. So this, I'm not sure if this power supply is exactly the same as the other one. I'm going to pull the other one up in a second. So the other thing is I'm supposed to be looking out for bridge rectifier diodes. This may be an earlier version of the power supply. Let me look at the other one. So here's the other power supply. And in this one, I've already pulled the caps off. Except for these two. These two I haven't taken off. Okay, see, this is a different brand or different model of cap right here than these guys. Trying to look and see if there's any major differences in the power supply layout. And that's very similar to me. Not sure if this is a bridge rectifier. How do I test a bridge rectifier anyway? My electronics is so far gone. So we got a bunch of these transistors here, semiconductors of some sort. The ones that really terrify me though are on the very bottom. Not sure if this thing's going to let you see, but there are surface mount components. I think mostly diodes. There's one 8-legged piece. I've never done surface mount. If it's a surface mount problem, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can really do. Saw some videos on testing capacitors in circuit. I wasn't really convinced. So for the other one, I actually just pulled the capacitors out. I'm looking. Yeah, I think this power supply is older. So we could look at the test capacitors in circuit. But let me see if I can find this XAir 18 blog thingy. Oh, okay, here, hold on. So I asked a question. With just the power supply plugged in and without the other two ribbon cables going to the other parts of the unit, should I be able to measure voltage of the power supply? Steve Hill says yes. Okay. So yeah, I've got a problem here. I don't know what this clicking is. So let me look and see if I can't find one of these pages. I'm trying to use DuckDuckGo, but it doesn't always return all that much search results. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yes, let's see what we can get out of this one. This Behringer XAir 18 repair was a digital mixer repair performed for a secondary school. Previously done some PA repairs. Power light began to flicker and the unit would no longer connect via Wi-Fi. That's not, I don't care. I'm not using the Wi-Fi anyway. Testing the power supply offload, the voltages seem stable. However, when the unit was loaded with the current draw from the digital section, the 5-volt rail dropped to a very unstable 2.8 volt. Okay, so it looks like those capacitors weren't this problem. My problem is, I mean, it just won't turn on at all. XAir 18 power supply. Okay. An XAir 18 in which the power supply has died. I had a tech check it out, and he says there are a couple of capacitors gone in the power board, but the rest of the desk is fine. Does anyone know where you can get new power supply or schematic? Okay, well, I am thinking. Oops, spell this right. I really don't know what this click. I have a feeling there's water leaking into my room. Let's see. Okay. Let's try XR 18 power supply. I might be buying the whole power supply board. I could order another one. Wait a second. No, that's the same. So, you know, if I had a schematic, I could try tracing this back to see where exactly this thing is croaked at. Okay. It's a couple transformers, 3 transformers, I think. Very strange looking. Oh, whew. That scared me. My multimeter was turning off right when I'm pressing the right when I'm touching one of these caps. Look at this big beep. Okay. Let me see if there's anything. let's just do with the Phillips head attachment. Pull this guy out of here. Yeah, if anybody out there knows where to get oh wow, how are these so loose? I'm almost scared these things aren't grounding. Hold on, let me plug this back in. How in the world did those come loose? I guess I need to put some Loctite on these things for real. I'm gonna plug this back in though, because I'm not 1,000% sure that the board isn't supposed to ground itself. It's pretty much grasping at straws, but you know, done worse. I really need my alligator clip leads. I have them somewhere. I think my new tech bag might have. I really geared up with some new tech stuff, and then really using it now. Okay, I think that's on. Go to ground here and check 15 volts. This says 5 volts. Nothing. Hold on, let me try. Let me just see if there's any AC voltage getting through here. Ooh. I've got 11. I've got 12 volts at the 5 volt rail AC. Interesting. Let me check that again. Okay, I got 1 volt at the 5 volt rail, and it's pulsing. Let me check for continuity here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna drop one of these screws back into ground the power supply chassis. Okay, so doesn't seem to be anything on the 5 volt rail. 1 volt, and it's pulsing. So here's a 15 volt rail. Nothing. Another 5 volt rail. So there's 2 5 volt rails. Nothing. D ground. C ground. Negative 15 volt rail. And negative, positive 48 volts. So phantom power. Oh, okay. I'm getting 5 volts there. Oh, it's AC. Just check the AC voltages real quick. Okay. I'm seeing what I'm supposed to see there. So it's not getting in. And where is it not getting in? Getting to this connector. And then what's happening to it? So let me plug it again. Take it out of the I'll take this little ground plane whatever thing off. Ooh, yeah, see that's why I had glue gun. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Oh, bummer. I may not be able to fix this thing. But it looks like, you know, I could send these boards into this place and maybe in the UK for repair. Okay. That is some goop. I wonder what this is. You know, I have a magnifying glass. I don't know how much it's going to help me. I see one really looks supposed to be burnt out. There's some shellacking on the bottom of this thing. Can't tell what it is. There's a bunch of what I think are chip resistors, surface mount chip resistors. There's an 8-pin surface mount IC, which could be rectifier. I see a diode D8 that looks like it could be blown. I'll check it with the diode checker. But again, a surface mount, man. I don't know what to do about that. There's a really big fat diode here. Let me... Why does it give me volts? Oh, that's the diode checker. Let me do a continuity real quick. I'm not really sure how to check diodes properly on this. Okay, nothing that way. If it's a diode, it should go across, right? If I have it in the right direction. I see it sounds like it charged up. And possibly that charge was going around this diode. Yeah, see now it's not. Let's check this diode right here. Okay, so nothing on this side. And I don't know if these are even terminals that I'm hooked onto. So I don't really know surface mount very well. I'm not getting a beep either way out of this diode. I should be. I assume. Huh. I mean, I really can't see. My eyes are so bad. I have some thicker glasses, maybe. Let's see. What we got here? These are 2.75. Hopefully this will that helps, but I really think I should be able to beep this diode in circuit. I wonder if I have any diodes laying around I can test with. so nothing. Nothing. That is interesting. Now here's another diode. Okay, does this one look the same? Because this one, I know you can't see it, but it looks like there's a crack. No, the other diodes look the same. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4 diodes on here. There's a couple ICs. I don't really know how I would test them. I'm just not sure how much this thing needs to be grounded in order to test. Because I could hopefully just, check voltages up to this connector. Let's see where that 15 volt actually comes from. Might be surfaced on the top too. Yeah, it looks like it's connected to the ground plane, but I don't think it is. It shouldn't be. Let me continuity check that just to be sure. Not that I can be completely sure, but okay, the 15 volt rail is right here. See, that sounds like capacitance, right? It's not really connected to this ground. Whereas here's the ground. That's obvious. That sounds like a capacitor, right? Just charged up and then now it's let go. Who is that? C ground. Maybe that's the chassis ground. So even though this doesn't look like it, this is isolated. This giant ground plane. So where's it coming from? So here's 15 volts. So is it coming from the surface mount on top? Is there a surface trace on top? There could be. Could be this one right here, which goes to that capacitor right there. Okay, there's a semiconductor of some sort on the top. That could be a rectifier. It's this one here. Man, there's a lot. I am not confident. Where are these guys? There's some really big resistors. There's a inductor, another inductor. Some, I think these are big diodes up top. Yep. Yeah, this may not be something I can actually handle. This sucks. Wow. Well, we can hope that these caps are bad. And if that's the case, they'll change those out and we're all good. But I don't know. That other one, the caps were fine. Look. See if we can tell something about when these were made. Let me see what that is. Hello, Kylo Music School. Right. Okay. So the other thing is there a way testing capacitors in circuit? Let's see if there's some trick. I've seen some like really crappy YouTube videos where it wasn't in any way telling how to do what the thing claimed. So here we go. How to test a capacitor with a multimeter in a circuit. So instead of, okay, I don't know about these articles. Like, are these like all AI written articles or Upwork written or something? Like, they always got to have all this crap in there where they don't actually tell about how to do this. They give you all this background information. It's like one of those crappy college, and this is why, I have a problem with academia so much, is they want fluff, they want filler, they don't want substance. And it's kind of typical. They just pile, like they give you a certain number of words that you have to meet. And this is what it seems to be. Okay, turn on the capacitor, switch to continuity mode. There's no such thing. Turn the circuit board open and attach the multimeter probes to the capacitor leads below. This doesn't even make any sense. All right, so this is just garbage. Test capacitor without desoldering. Let's see this one. Again, it looks like they had to pad it with a certain number of words before they're able to write anything. Okay, why multimeter is not a good choice for testing bad capacitors. Test the capacitor without desoldering by using an ESR meter. I don't know. So do I need an ESR meter? I guess I do. Do these things do that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I kind of run out of steam on this thing. I got a doctor's appointment to be at, but I'll update if I can figure anything out.